If you are seeking clarity, this is the video for you. Today I'm sharing 5 of my favorite spiritual practices to gain clarity like this. Take a breath, close your door, light a candle, and take these few minutes to discern which of these 5 spiritual practices you're going to take action on today. The reason I'm making this video is because you in your heart, you in your power is going to make such a radiant difference in our world, because I know if you've attracted this video, you have a big heart, you have a powerful mission probably inside of you to help others, and you just need the right practices and tools to hone your energy, to command your frequency, so you can gain the clarity you need to fly forward. The first spiritual practice is to get your body touching the earth. Unplug from technology, okay, and plug in to the heartbeat of the earth. Whether that is in a body of water, whether that is on the grass in a forest. One of my personal favorites is, swimming in the ocean, and laying under a tree and just looking at the sun as the sun is coming through the branches. I ask Mother Earth to please pull from my body energetically and physically and mentally and emotionally anything that is limiting me, clogging my power, clogging my confidence, and holding me back in any way. That intention, coupled with grounding, with earthing, is very, very powerful, because there's something about articulating what you're asking for, what your intention is, that accelerates the process of the earth doing her alchemical work on you. This isn't woo-woo. There's a lot of science behind it. Watch Earthing, the documentary. I believe it's even free on YouTube. When was the last time you connected with the earth barefoot? Not just walking with shoes on, but really letting your body touch into the frequencies of the earth, allowing the negative ions to clear you and rebalance you and restore you. That's automatically going to start to shift and make space in your mind. The second spiritual practice for gaining clarity is using oracle decks or runes or some kind of high frequency product or intentionally made guidance system. There's so many spiritual technologies like this, whether it's even flipping to a book and opening to any page for guidance, whether it's using oracle decks, which I love. I love Rebecca Campbell's Healing Waters deck. I'm not affiliated with any of these. These are just some of the ones I love. She also has a rose deck. I absolutely love my runes by something Bloom. I forgot his first name. I've been using them since I was 20 years old. When our house almost burned down in the Ojai fires, I brought them with me. Like, they were one of the things that will always be with me. So the reason I love this is because it gets us out of the way of overthinking, trying to figure out what should I do next. That's like the worst thing you can possibly do, is try to think your way into clarity. Get your mind out of the way, make space, and tap into your heart, take a deep, deep breath, get yourself centered, and then use one of these beautiful tools, with your physical hands to ask for guidance. The question I often ask is, what does my soul want me to know today? And then I pick a card or I pick a rune. A dear sister of mine many years ago made me a deck. It's like this small little deck called Veronica cards. Knowing me really well, she used all the letters in my name to start the cards. For E, everything supports you. For A, authentic truth. For V, victory. And these are very simple cards, yet they have a lot of power, and then I can interpret what guidance they're trying to give me. This particular spiritual practice is just play. It's joy. It's like being a little child, having fun and remembering that there is magic in the world, and testing it for yourself, getting practical by trying it and see, is there any relevance for you? Does it help you get clear in your next step? You can even ask specific questions. What do I do in this relationship? What do I do in this career? What's my next step? Should I live here? Should I live there? The third spiritual practice I absolutely love, and yes, it's a spiritual practice, is decluttering. Make space in your physical environment, and that will automatically create space in your mind. If you are so focused on trying to figure out what to do next, where to go, what are you supposed to create, what are you going to do about this or that, it's exhausting. It's so painful to the mind and the nervous system. But if you just snap out of all the thinking and go into the immediacy of your environment and start decluttering, even like decluttering a YouTube channel or your technology or your actual closet or your food cabinets, or maybe you declutter, your thoughts by writing all your thoughts down that are harming you, that are limiting you, and do a little ritual burn. That's a form of decluttering. It might even be as simple as a sock drawer, okay? Like getting rid of all the socks with holes in them, or in your kitchen, any dishes that are chipped. Focus your energy on making space, because nature abhors a vacuum, as we have all heard before. What that means is it goes in to fill that freed up space, and you can set the intention. Bring in, as I'm making this space, bring in clarity, bring in prosperity, bring in the most abundant, joyous, beautiful people, experiences, opportunities. Give me that clear direction in my life. If you add intention to any of these spiritual practices, it will just skyrocket the effect of clarity it has on you, okay? Just make sure you know why you're doing these practices. You're not just blindly doing them. It's like you're taking a breath, you're setting an intention. I choose this, and you're using these tools to help you with that. The fourth spiritual practice is calling on a higher power. Whether you call this prayer, whether you set intentions. I'll give you an example. I remember after I finished a really big project and I had graduated with my master's, I didn't know what to do next. I had left corporate America. I had no idea how I was going to be making money, and I was so stressed. I was freaking out. I was so confused. And I remember dropping down to my knees, and prayer was not a thing like in my life at the time. This is like 15 years ago. I dropped down to my knees and I just started praying. I said, God, source, loving intelligence, whatever you want to call it with a capital I, please help me to clarify my next step. What is the most prosperous, soul-aligned step for me to take right now? Please show me my next step in my career, because that's where I was super confused, because I don't know what to do right now. Now, here's the crazy thing. I was like weeping. It was a very sincere prayer, and I was surrendered. I was like ready to receive. I remember within the next 24, maybe 36 hours, 3 people came up to me and asked me if I was a yoga teacher. No one had ever asked me that in my life. I was in a natural food market. Some guy comes up to me. I'm ordering a green juice. He's like, "Are you a yoga teacher?" It's like, "No." Then I go to a yoga class, and there's a substitute teacher for my regular teacher. And at the end of class, she beelines it to me out of the whole freaking room. And she's like, "Are you a yoga teacher? What did you think of my class?" And then by the third person, I was like, okay, I definitely love yoga, and it would be amazing to teach yoga. I want to go get a certification, but I had never really given myself permission for that. So I went to India months later and got certified as a yoga teacher. And it was one of the most powerful experiences of my life. And it informed my work. Even though I'm not a yoga teacher, I help people with the yoga of visibility, with the yoga of confidence, helping people connect with their soul and living a soul-centered life in business. It changed everything. I highly recommend prayer. If you're someone who's really strong in the will and perseverance department, you likely need grace. So there are 2 wings of the same bird. There's will and there's grace. Grace means calling upon something higher than ourselves, calling upon a higher power, surrender, turning it over. When things get hard, instead of just processing through everything, just feel all the gunk and the stress and the belief systems and the limitations and turn it over daily to a higher power. I cast this burden of insecurity, of lack, of fear, of whatever it is aside so that I can move forward in plenty. We can't receive from this mysterious universe as readily if we don't give permission for that help to sweep in and help us. I'll just leave it at that for your own exploration. For me, I hated this one because I just I was like, I can trust myself and count on myself, but I can't count on some ridiculous concept of prayer. Like, what is that? And for some of you, you're so good at this, and maybe you need a little more willpower, more gumption. The fifth and final practice, this may not seem spiritual. I find it incredibly mystical, incredibly powerful, incredibly beautiful. Maybe it's my favorite because I suddenly feel very alive, is what I call video diaries. You turn on your camera and you, for your eyes only, speak the truth. Lack of clarity is simply the result of overthinking, of debris in your head. So it's so important. Look at him go. So he's so happy. This is who we all are deep down, okay? Video diaries help us clear the gunk. That's kind of like over who we really are, and set our joy free, set our clarity free. So I do this all the time. I teach this in Confident Visibility School before I even teach coaches, healers, empaths to get on camera and make videos and make their content, and I help them with all the strategy and structure and things like that. We don't even go there until they have made like 3 weeks worth of video diaries where they are laying down the hardest, heaviest crap that comes up in their minds and just sharing it for their eyes only. Why? Because you are going to get to see yourself. You become visible to yourself, as I call it. Become visible to yourself. Instead of trying to repress all of this stuff inside of you and pretend it's not there, which is just going to make you more confused and more hindered and encumbered by suffering, you actually let it come up and come out. And what's really amazing, it's kind of like the Artist's Way morning pages Julia Cameron talks about, which is equally powerful, obviously. I love speaking it. You choose, whether it's writing in a diary or making video diaries. Just let it all out. Let it all come out. And again, set the intention that you're doing this in order to gain clarity on your next steps or whatever it is you're seeking clarity on. This is a practice. Anytime I feel heavy, anytime I feel blocked, anytime I feel sad, depressed, anytime I feel like hiding or small, I just turn on my camera for my eyes only and I start speaking the truth, you know? And it's amazing by the end of crying and speaking and expressing, and it's just this sacred date with myself. I get so clear. It's like, oh my God, that's the thing that I've been believing that's been haunting me or holding me back. So these are 5 practices. I hope you love at least one of them. Let me know in the comments below which of these you're going to put into practice today. Have fun with it. Play as an experiment. Notice what it does for you to take on one of these practices. If you got something from this video, give it a thumbs up. Ding, ding, ding. And if you aren't already subscribed, but you would love to be, you can click the subscribe button. I make videos to help you connect with your soul, create a spiritual business from that place. If you would like to be visible, share your gifts, helping others, and more than anything, enjoy your life and be a beacon of light that inspires others. I'm gonna go swimming in these waters. If you want further help, by the way, make sure to grab my free workshop below to help you command your energy and raise your confidence and frequency. You can grab that workshop for free below. Thank you so much for being here with me in these waters today, and I will see you in the next video.